the most widely supported sport after football in Ghana, has given many hope and became a destiny changer for some and for some otherwise disadvantaged people. Bukom, a fishing community and a suburb of the capital city Accra, has gained its identity through the sport. Ghana as a country has won more laurels in boxing than football, which is regarded as the heartbeat of the nation. Boxing has brought joy to many homes as they stay up late to watch their favorite star defeat his opponent, like when Azumah Nelson defeated Jeff Fenech in 1992 to retain his WBC super featherweight title. How did this sport start in Ghana? Was there an already existed activity similar to this sport? How has boxing been treated in Ghana as a sports discipline, and what is the boxer's story? Boxing emerged as an organized sport in Accra in the first half of the 20th century. The phenomenon blended a complex interplay of the Western sport of boxing and the indigenous Ga pugilist sport of Asafo Atwele at the beach at Bukom in the area of Dutch Accra.
In the early 1900s, when some of the colonial masters and some of the elite people from England, they bring the boxing here in Ghana, and they started within the Jamestown and then later the Asha town of the Accra Central. The reason why boxing has prevailed to this day within this region is that the Gans, who are the natives of Accra, have the trait of warrior and more. So they are fisher folks. A lot of them are fisher folks, and after they have gone to fishing and dried their nets and all that stuff, they have by then they had a sport that they play like a group wrestling that they call Asafo Atwele, and based on that they are more or less like fighters, and it's a group wrestling between Kinka and Lishin, which is the Asha Town and Jamestown people, and it involves various groups. So that is what they've been doing for a long time. So as part of their sport, as the elite class brought boxing from England to Ghana in the 1900s, some of the young fisher folks were poached for that sport, and that is how they started. They had the Spartan Club and other clubs. They had that clubs. So that is how it started.
Africans had followed boxing on the international scene, and the exploit of African American boxers became the Pan-African agenda in the 20th century. Tyler Fleming, a professor whose research focused on African pop, stated that boxing has been a significant of social black life since the dawn of the 20th century. A report in the Sunday Mirror of September 1955 on the boxer Seth Odamten clearly shows the boxing scene was already developing in Accra. Benaman and Allen Thomas set up the first boxing club in Ghana, known as the Boxing School, in the 1920s. At the end of the 1920s, the Boy Scouts in Accra incorporated boxing into their training program at the J.J. Fischer's Yard. Professionally, boxing took hold in Accra in the mid-1930s. British and local employees of the expatriate trading companies educated in England brought the professional version of boxing to Accra. Amateur boxing was also in existence in schools. In 1934, a group photograph of Achimota School boxing class of 1930 was published in newspaper daily in the Gold Coast.
The history of amateur boxing in Ghana dates back to the 1920s. History has it that an expatriate named Mr. Williams is widely credited with its effective promotion and development. Mr. Williams, a district commissioner in the then Gold Coast, teamed up with Lieutenant Colonel Harry William Murray Bamford, who was a district police commissioner. Currently, or nowadays, we want to refer as Inspector General of Police, to organize the first amateur boxing competition at the Insawam Country and Fire Yard. This was in 1928. Then in 1932, two British nationals, namely Maxwell Lawford and T.A. Anthony, introduced amateur boxing to Achimota School, which had been established by the colonial authorities in 1927. The Boy Scout Association later incorporated it into their activities.
John Ophir Aglionby, Bishop of Accra, from 1924 to 1951, offered training in boxing for the purpose of challenging the energies of children and young people to dissuade them from getting involved in street fights, which were common in those days. Professional boxing became a pleasing alternative because it was paid work. In Accra's world of boxing, boxers and trainers were largely recruited from the ranks of an emerging working class, including fishermen, lorry drivers, blacksmiths, and mechanics. The organizers or promoters were those who had attained a higher education and generally came from social described class as the petit bourgeoisie. In 1975, David Kotei, popularly known as dkpoison, won Ghana's first world title by beating Ruben Olivares to become the WBC featherweight champion. Three-time world champion Azumah Nelson followed suit in 1984 when he defeated Wilfredo Gomez to win the WBC featherweight title. Nanaya Okunedu in 1989, IQ Korte in 1994, Alfred Korte also in 1994, Joseph Agbeko in 2007, Joshua Clote in 2008, Isaac Dogbe in 2018, and Richard Comey in 2019. Roy Ankra, popularly known as Black Flash, won Ghana's first Commonwealth title in 1951. Eddie Blair also won Ghana's first Olympic medal in 1960. The list can go on, and one will think after winning all those laurels for Ghana, much attention will be paid to it by the nation. But what has been the story?
Boxers are not getting support, and I don't know whether the organization is not firm, because football,
it's getting all the money they need.
Yes, but boxing, I don't know why. I don't know. It's something wrong, and I'm saying that the government have to come in and see how to go about it, because boxing is something that if we are serious in it, we can make a whole lot of money out of it for the children themselves and the boxers themselves and the nation and everybody.
Because boxing have given us more laurels than football.
Yes, but I don't know. I don't want to say things if I don't take care of. I've said something to, I've accept somebody, I had somebody, so, but if the government will come to boxing sides more, it will be better, boxing don't need too much money like football, so if, like they said, you have two kids and one is bigger than the other one, the bigger one eat more, but if the bigger one eat more, you give him his food, and the small one you give him.
During General Ignatius Kutu Champion's rule, David Kotei, alias Poison, dished out a staggering amount of money to assist the nation, which was then in dire financial straits. After years of reneging on reimbursing him, coupled with fruitless attempts and the influence of social media, the government eventually paid him his money. Before the money was paid to him, the team visited him at his residence, where he expressed disappointment over the refusal of successive governments' refusal to pay his money.
When I came back to Ghana, I have to defend the title for some. I defend the title for about two or three times. I think twice or so. Then I went to Japan to defend my title there with a boxer named Fukuyama. And now I'm coming to where the nation borrowed the money from me. So when fortunately I won fortunately I won the guy in the third round. But then 8 o'clock there, it was now I've seen 8 o'clock night there was 9 o'clock here in the morning. So you see they were jubilating. You go to the castle, you see, according to what people told me, castle they didn't wait for the whole day. And I think after the fight, our ambassador there have a person he called to get together for less. You know. So during the how do you call it, this thing, celebration of this thing, we have a telex. You know telex? You know telex? You don't know telex? Oh, okay. Now how do you call it? We call it fax now.
Ah, the fax.
Fax.
Telefax. Okay.
Telex. This time fax. But then if you make telex, it takes about the whole day. But now fax machine
it just goes.
Then they make telex that. They said, but then there were agitation the country. You know, there was agitation, there was pressure on the government, the military government to hand over. Then the president, Kutu Achan from Soki, they have to send a telex, you know, to us that they should use part of my money, my earning, to buy Mancre for the nation, so that it will cool tempers. You know, so that when I come back to Ghana, they will give me city equivalent. What I have to say, I was because I was like
the hero.
No, I was like I mean, it's like, okay, let me put it this way: in boxing business, promoters always deal with managers and non-boxers. So when after the fight, my check was handed over to my promoter. My manager. Because then Ghana government was managing, but we have a particular person whose the name was Kenneth John Slater. He also was a military man. You know, the military have a term obey before complain. And whatever he told us that this is what the government said. So what I have to say, I said, no, I have no any objection. Because the check was not with me, it was given to her. He said, okay, I agree. But actually, they didn't tell me how much money they will need. So I said, okay, after they have the government whatever they wanted to use, they pay $30,000. They pay $30,000 into my account. But then my bank was Barclays Bank, former Barclays Bank. This time representing APSA also. So when you came down to Ghana, the special assistant to the president, or special assistant to the sports, he called me and said, okay, I have got something at Barclays Bank, so I should go and collect it. When I went and collected it, it was pay in slip. Then they pay, I saw the amount which was paid to my account, $30,000. And the whole money was $75,000. It was there that I know that they took.
They're taking the money.
Because if the whole amount was $75,000 and they paid $30,000, how many does it remain $45,000? Then I keep on asking, I kept on asking. For sometimes I go to the special assistant to the president, or sometimes I say, the president says you should exercise restraint, things are not okay now, until the time he was overthrown.
And you never got your money back?
Up to today, it was what? 29. Is it 29 October? Was it 29 October last year? When I finally petitioned to this present government, and he says you look into it, and up to now I haven't heard it.
I've not heard anything.
From here.
In 2017, the national amateur boxing team, the Black Bombers, failed to participate in the African Boxing Championship in Brazzaville, Congo, which served as a qualifier for the AIBA World Boxing Championship in Hamburg, which also meant no participation in the 2018 Commonwealth Games due to lack of fans, when the Sports Ministry failed to honor its earlier promise of giving the boxers an amount of $32,000, a reduction of an initial budget of $54,000, thus crushing their hopes. Meanwhile, in the same year, a whopping $3.37 million was spent on the Black Stars, who have failed to lift any trophy since 1982 and have failed woefully at the world stage. During the team's visit to a boxing gym in Jamestown, some boxers cried foul over inadequate support to sustain the promotion and development of the sport and called for support from the government.
And I think now I've been amateur before, and now I'm being professional, and I've taken many titles in Ghana. In many titles, like I've taken national title, I've taken West Africa, I've taken Africa, I've taken WBO interim Africa, I've taken WBO Africa, I've taken UBC World title, and I've taken Commonwealth title. So I think I want to move forward in boxing. In boxing, the job is hard, but we have to try our best. First of all, we have to pray to God to give us many chances, because in boxing, if you don't get a chance, you can be higher, or you can be a world champion. And you have to get a chance, like management or promotion. The one who can promote you when you are promoting, you have been promoting, maybe you can move forward in boxing, or you can fight any boxer you want, like Mayweather. If I'm in Mayweather weight and I've got a good promoter, I can fight Mayweather. Or if I get a Canelo weight, if I have a good promoter, I can fight Canelo. So I think in boxing you have to get a good promoter, and I think the president in Ghana, he has to push his effort in boxing, because I think all the time calling as your force and the press, but it's not good so much. But we thank and we beg president to push in boxing, because I think we have many world titles in Ghana, but no World Cup in Ghana. You get me? We have many world titles in Ghana, but we don't have World Cup in Ghana. So I'm begging a president to push in effort into boxing, because I think we have many world champions in Ghana. Look at recently, we have Ishal Kome, we have Ivy Dobe, we have many world titles. We have Joshua Kote, Aikote, many world champions. And we have a talent in Ghana, many talent, but we beg a president to push in boxing so that we can be higher.
My boxing started at the age of 16 years. So plenty from amateur side. I've been in national team, I go all African games, world championship and zonal championship too, you understand? But it's so hard. So any boxer or beginning boxer, if you are coming, maybe you want to be a boxer, you have to work hard. If you don't work hard, you go disgrace yourself, you understand? So you have to work hard, pray to make yourself like a lion, you understand? Boxing, plenty challenges of it, you understand? So you have to prepare very well, train very well to fight. Plenty, but I can even don't say anything plenty about the money side, you understand? Maybe if Ghana, if you say you are a boxer, you don't have manager, then forget yourself. If you have manager can even give you maybe 1 cedi every week or 2 cedi every week to manage yourself to be a world champion. Government it didn't help out more. It thinks maybe boxing is a individual athlete, you understand? So it didn't care about us, you understand? Even our training kids, and you understand, maybe it thinks maybe one boxer can go and fight maybe $1 million. The boxer in coach and in manager share that money, so he didn't care about us. You understand? So we are preparing our general preparation to go outside to go and fight and get your own money. You achieve something better for yourself, to look at maybe your family, you understand, your wife and your kids to be happy, you understand. So you have to work hard, to train hard, to go and achieve whatever you wanted to achieve. That's why our boxers, if he go USA or he go travel, no, he started to think twice to stop the boxing and go and maybe do some of the job in outside to stop the boxing.
When we come to the amateur level, of which the team belongs to Ghana, I think government should be more concerned about it. If you are having a football team of which the trainer of the head coach of the Ghana Blaster is the highest gentleman on the land, and football, you spend over $200,000 for one match, maybe for a qualifier. Maybe you have four matches, home matches for a qualifier. Before you finish, about $800,000. And sometimes you don't qualify. Sometimes you go and you even lift a trophy, and you are spending $800,000 just for maybe qualifications. Sometimes you don't qualify. Why can't that kind of allocation be made for boxing? Even if $500,000 or maybe $1 million for development sake, 4 years, so that we make sure we prepare our boxers, they get per diem, they are camped training towards like the 2023 All-African Games.
The young dreamer at Bukom and boxing lovers who hope for a better future for boxing.